Welcome back to Alchemy of Thought, where ancient wisdom meets modern transformation. In today's journey, we move from theory to embodiment, from the scroll to the soul. The teachings of Thoth, the great alchemist and sage, were never meant to remain as dusty metaphors or historical mysteries. They were, and still are, a living roadmap, a call to become more than passive seekers of truth, a call to become living alchemists. Alchemy, in its deepest sense, is not just about turning lead into gold. It's about transmuting fear into clarity, doubt into wisdom, and pain into power. In this fourth installment, we explore what it means to live the alchemical path, to tend the fire of intention, to bring transformation into your everyday life, and ultimately, to remember who you are and who you are becoming. This is not a concept, it's a practice, not a theory, but a choice. So, if you're here, know this: the fire is already within you. Let's begin. In every alchemical tradition, transformation begins not with metal or magic, but with fire. But this is not the fire you see in a hearth or a forge. This is inner fire, the spark of will, the blaze of consciousness, the ignition of choice. Thoth teaches that this sacred fire is the life force itself. It is the divine animating principle that turns stillness into movement, thought into creation, and longing into becoming. And in the path of the modern alchemist, it is where everything begins. The inner fire is not anger or aggression. It's not adrenaline or ambition. It is intention, pure and focused. It's the moment you decide, I will no longer live asleep. The moment you choose to confront the parts of yourself that have been hiding. The moment you commit to living from soul instead of fear. This fire is subtle at first, a whisper, a pull. It shows up in small rebellions against numbness, choosing silence over noise, truth over comfort, depth over distraction. It says, I will not settle for a life that does not honor who I truly am. For some, the fire awakens in crisis, a moment of heartbreak or loss that shakes them awake. For others, it stirs slowly, through curiosity, synchronicity, or the quiet realization that there must be more. Whatever the trigger, the fire only becomes transformative when it is tended. And tending the fire means making space, not just in your schedule, but in your awareness. It means sitting with your pain instead of avoiding it, listening to your own thoughts without judgment, and asking, day by day, breath by breath, what is trying to awaken in me? What is no longer true for who I am becoming? Where am I called to step into greater alignment? In ancient alchemy, fire was the element that purified. It was used to burn away the false, the impure, the unneeded, so that what remained was true. In your life, fire is the energy that gives you the courage to shed old skins. It's what fuels you to walk away from what no longer resonates, even when it's scary. To speak truth even when your voice shakes. To love yourself enough to evolve. The job that stifles your spirit. The relationship that no longer mirrors your growth. The patterns that keep looping but never liberate. All of them become fuel for the fire, if you're willing to let them burn. But there's a caution in Thoth's wisdom too. Fire, when untamed, is chaos. If intention is not grounded in clarity, the same fire meant to awaken you can consume you. That's why the alchemist must also cultivate awareness. To burn with purpose, not just passion. To be directed, not reactive. To harness the flame, not be scorched by it. This is why meditation matters. Why breathwork, ritual, reflection and stillness are not luxuries, but necessities. They are how the alchemist keeps the fire sacred. Ultimately, the teaching is not that you must go find the fire. It's that you are the fire, you are the spark. You are the one who chooses. And with every choice, you shape the alchemy of your life. The emerald tablets hint at this through the phrase, within you lies all knowledge. And it's true. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need the willingness to begin, to honor the flame, to feed it with truth, and to let it illuminate the path ahead. Alchemy was never meant to live in dusty scrolls or distant temples. It was meant to be practiced in kitchens and heartbreaks, in commutes and conversations, in the ordinary moments of a very real life. Thoth's deeper teachings point us toward a sacred truth. Transformation doesn't require isolation. It requires presence. You don't need a monastery, you need awareness. You don't need robes and rituals unless they speak to your soul. You need the willingness to meet every moment with intention. This is what it means to transmute in the everyday. The first tool of the living alchemist is thought. As Thoth reminds us, the universe is mental. This is not metaphor, it's metaphysics. The world you experience is shaped by your interpretations, your inner narrative, your focus, your belief. A thought is not just a flicker in the brain. It is a vibration, a choice, a lens through which energy flows. So, when you choose to reframe a setback as a lesson, when you breathe instead of react, when you say, "There's a gift in this, and I'm willing to find it," you are practicing alchemy. You are taking lead, fear, anger, doubt, and turning it into gold, wisdom, peace, courage. It's easy to feel spiritual on a mountaintop. It's harder when someone cuts you off in traffic or you're facing betrayal or fear. But this is the sacred lab. This is where the real transmutation happens. Every emotional trigger is not a failure of your practice, it's an invitation to go deeper. That frustration at your partner, a chance to heal a wound you've carried since childhood, that moment of jealousy, a mirror showing you where you've forgotten your own worth, that ache of uncertainty, a portal to surrender and rediscover trust. Each of these moments offers the raw material of transformation, and every time you choose response over reaction, you're working the great work. Thoth taught that where your mind goes, energy follows. So ask yourself, where is your attention most of the day? Is it spiraling into imagined futures, looping regrets from the past, or cultivating peace in the now? The modern world is engineered for distraction, but alchemy is attention refined. Try this. While washing dishes, breathe love into your hands. While walking, imagine each step as an offering of peace. When in pain, whisper, "This too is alchemy." These simple acts are not small, they're revolutionary, because they declare that no moment is meaningless. While the everyday holds the essence, intentional rituals help deepen and stabilize the practice. Ritual doesn't have to be elaborate, it just has to be sacred to you. Light a candle before writing to ignite clarity. Use a journal to track thoughts you're transmuting. Meditate with a symbol, a key, an ankh, a stone, to anchor intention. Recite affirmations or mantras that carry the vibration you're choosing. These acts turn fleeting intention into embodied practice, and over time, they repattern your energy field. You become less reactive, more creative, less pulled by chaos, more aligned with purpose. One of the most misunderstood aspects of the Emerald Tablets is the phrase, "Man is in the process of becoming." Becoming what? A conscious creator, not in the egoic sense, but in the alchemical sense. One who sees life not as something that happens to them, but as something they are actively co-creating. Every thought, every word, every act is a brushstroke, and the life you live becomes your canvas. This doesn't mean bypassing pain. It means meeting it with presence and purpose. It means choosing to show up, even when it's messy. Because when you do, you're not escaping the world, you're transforming within it. To live this way is to be soft and strong at once, to be a mystic in jeans, a poet at the grocery store, a quiet revolutionary who knows that changing the world begins with changing your energy. You may not always see the results right away, but transformation is not always loud. It's the tension you didn't carry, the kindness you did offer, the peace you protected when chaos knocked. That is alchemy, and that is power. If the foundation of alchemy is mental, and its practice is daily, then its liberation lies in something even more profound, the release from linear time. Thoth didn't just teach transformation of matter, he taught transformation of perception and time. He said, is one of the greatest illusions humanity clings to. Time is an illusion of the senses. It is not real. That which is timeless is eternal. That which is eternal is truth. This idea may feel abstract at first, but in truth, we all touch it, sometimes without even realizing. Modern life runs on clocks and calendars. We measure days in meetings and deadlines. Our language is filled with time-based traps. I'm running out of time, too late, someday. But these are constructs, tools for coordination, not ultimate reality. Thoth invites us to look deeper. Linear time is a function of the body, but your consciousness is not bound to it. Think of dreams. A lifetime can pass in minutes, or meditation, where time dissolves into a single breath, or déjà vu, when something feels familiar before it happens. These moments point to a deeper truth. You are not your timeline. Thoth spoke often of the eternal now, the dimension where all things exist at once, not just spiritually, but energetically. This moment is not just the bridge between past and future, it contains them. The past is memory, the future is possibility, the present is creation, and this is where your power lives. Every act of alchemy begins here, in the now, with your awareness. When you're fully in this moment, awake, intentional, receptive, you step outside of time's trap. You're no longer reacting from your past. You're no longer projecting into the future. You're creating. While linear time is an illusion, rhythmic time is real. Nature doesn't operate on straight lines. It moves in cycles, moons, tides, seasons, breath. Ancient Egypt, and Thoth's teachings especially, honored this. The serpent swallowing its tail, Ouroboros, eternal return. The rising and setting of Ra, death and rebirth, every day. The phases of alchemical transformation, calcination, dissolution, fermentation, rebirth. To live aligned with cyclical time is to understand that transformation is not linear progress. It is a spiral path. We revisit the same lessons, but from higher vantage points. We evolve through rhythm, not rush. When you trust the cycle, you release the panic of being behind. There is no late, there is only ready. So how do we, as modern mystics, begin to live this way? By becoming conscious of how we relate to time. Do you treat it as your enemy? Do you worship the future and fear the past? Or do you listen to the present like a guide? Try this. Slow down. Do one thing today with full awareness. No multitasking. Observe your language. Replace "I don't have time" with "It's not aligned right now." Journal with timelessness. Ask, what would I do if I truly believed I had enough time? Breathe with the body of eternity. Inhale, exhale. Here you are, now, always. These small shifts return you to presence, and presence is power. Some of the most profound alchemists in history were not just chemists or priests. They were time travelers of consciousness. They knew that to awaken your potential, you must step out of the illusion of limitation. You are not too old. You are not too young. You are not behind. You are not late. You are arriving, in every moment, with everything you need to transform. And this changes how you move. You stop rushing. You stop comparing. You stop trying to catch up. You begin to listen. To life. To rhythm. To soul. And in that listening, time becomes your ally. Even modern science now reflects what Thoth taught millennia ago. Your DNA is not a ladder, it's a spiral, a helix, a glyph of cyclical intelligence. The ancients encoded this everywhere: snakes, spirals, infinity loops. Because wisdom doesn't move forward, it unfolds. The more you remember who you are, the more access you have to what always was. You don't become wise, you remember your wisdom. You don't earn power. You align with the part of you that has never forgotten it. Thoth didn't ask us to escape the world. He asked us to see it clearly, to honor time as a tool, but not a trap, to use clocks, but not be caged by them, to live in rhythm, not in race. You are not just a being with a calendar, you are a soul with eternity in your breath. And when you remember that, you begin to live differently. You speak with intention, you listen with presence, you love without condition. Because you're no longer counting moments, you're inhabiting them, and that is real power. You were never meant to be a passive observer of life. You are the fire, you are the vessel, you are the one who remembers. Thoth's teachings are not relics of the past, they are living instructions, a sacred science for awakening, a blueprint for inner mastery, and most of all, a reminder that the divine is not somewhere out there, it is already within you, waiting to be realized. So if something stirred in you today, if you felt the resonance of truth behind these words, that is not coincidence, that is remembrance. You are the seeker, you are the scribe, you are the alchemist, and the journey doesn't end here. In a future video, we'll go deeper into the emerald tablets themselves, exploring line by line the hidden codes and symbolic teachings Thoth etched into eternity. Until then, I invite you to reflect on today's truths, reclaim your mental power, align with rhythm instead of race, and most of all, trust the sacred process unfolding within you. If you're ready to continue this journey into ancient wisdom and modern awakening, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. The temple is no longer stone, the scrolls are no longer hidden. You are the living library, and your alchemy begins now.